Is this an experiment or a competition? Mike Fisher reporting from Phoenix, where the Cowboys last night, Friday night, completed their 19-16 second preseason game loss to the Cardinals. Obviously, the final score is not important. There are a handful of things that are important. We're going to go through those this morning with you. Injuries, important. Quarterbacking, important, including Dak Prescott throwing heat. And competition at center, or is it just an experiment, preparation? It's really odd, if you ask me, how the Cowboys are handling the Connor Williams, Tyler Biadasz deal. I don't know that I've ever quite seen it this way before. It's a snap? No, not exactly. Not when Connor Williams goes and plays center. The Cowboys like to call this an experiment. Just getting prepared, just tinkering. But it looks like a competition. Connor Williams on Friday at State Farm Stadium didn't just get playing time at center, which is what you would do in an experiment. Hey, oh, by the way, go over there and take a couple snaps at center. Let's tinker with it. He started at center. Why? Why would you start him as part of an experiment? Wouldn't you start him as part of a competition? So he got a slot in the starting lineup ahead of supposed first-teamer Tyler Biadasz, who, by the way, has done nothing wrong. Not last year as a rookie and not this year. That's not just my view. That's the view of coaches and scouts, that Tyler Biadasz is just fine. So what are we doing? Quote from Connor. As of now, I feel like playing center is just for emergencies. And of course, he's been the starter for essentially all 3 of his years at left guard. Obviously, wherever they need me, I'm going to be. At the end of the day, it's a coach's decision. And maybe it is just a coach's decision to be in the second week of preseason games. 2 preseason games left before the Cowboys are at Tampa Bay and need to take this seriously. And we're still tinkering with ideas in the starting lineup. Now, maybe it's just a coach's decision and we should leave it alone. Or maybe, while the Cowboys insist again, they're satisfied with the play of the second-year guy, Biadasz, who's done nothing wrong. Maybe they're considering a best 5 approach. And if Connor McGovern is one of the best 5, then he plays, if that's your approach. And somebody else sits or somebody else moves. For the moment, though, let's accept this. Connor Williams' shotgun snaps have been poor. They were poor in practice in Oxnard at training camp. They've been poor in these games. It makes it hard to run your offense. Mike McCarthy said that after the game, the coach. Hard to run your offense when we can't snap the ball. Yeah, you think? So experiment more with something that we're not good at? Tinker more with something we're not good at? Tell Connor Williams, hurry up, you got 2 weeks to learn how to snap the ball. I don't get it. Again, this has been pretty consistent for Connor. This is just, for all the things he does well, this ain't one of them. Part of the idea of the best 5, as we've discussed here, Tony Wise, offensive line coach under Jimmy Johnson 30 years ago, just give me 5 guys who can block. One of them needs to be able to put the ball between his legs. Okay? The Cowboys have guys who can block. They have a guy who can put the ball between his legs. His name's Tyler Biadasz. Quote from McCarthy, am I concerned about it? Yeah. I mean, anytime the ball is on the ground, it's a concern. That's the starting point. That's why you start practice every day with quarterback center exchanges. It can't happen. There's no excuse for it. We can talk about it till we're blue in the face. It has to be corrected. But it can happen if you're not good at it. A lot of things can happen if you're not good at it. So, coach says we got to correct it, and his way of correcting it is to start your guard at center? That's not how to correct it. To correct it is to let the center play center. By the way, Connor McGovern can also play center. And in fact, that's kind of how he came up. Maybe that's who should be getting the experiments. But the experiment shouldn't be to start the game. The experiment should be we tinker as we go, and we tinker in training camp, and we'll get back to Frisco and we'll tinker some more. But the game needs to have a game feel to it. And if I can't snap the ball, my offense is not going to give me a game feel. So maybe the guards should play guard, and maybe McGovern could actually be the emergency center. Somebody else as the emergency center. It is an emergency. You know, in past years, Zach Martin was the emergency center. He never started a game at center. That's nonsense. But it's a thing now. Oddly, Williams suggested, by the way, that his first team reps were not planned out well in advance. Quote from Connor. It was a last-minute call. There's just an emphasis on getting me backup center reps, obviously, just getting in and getting those live center reps. It's obviously different than practice, but wait a minute. This was a last-minute decision? They changed they changed their starting offensive line at the last minute? For what? Connor Williams, as solid an offensive lineman as he is, has been the same in games and the same in practice. He doesn't snap the ball well. And maybe that's reason enough, as we're wondering, is this an experiment or is this a competition?